the tournament stage it ends, right?
Yep.
You can always turn the standings on its head with just one good round. We've seen it time and time again, locally, internationally. 2 more rounds to go, and this is the second last. It's back to purgatory. And some of these teams have had pretty decent results, and some of them have struggled just now. But remember, purgatory was a map that we saw a lot more actions happening in the first half of the play-ins. And let's see if that is replicated.
We also saw a hot drop between Expand and Team Flash at Brasilia. If that happens again, the end could be near for the MCPS squad, so they have to be really careful. But who's going to go in here with the ego challenge? Because if Expand does hop on over to Brasilia once again, they really want to prove themselves, but I don't think this is the place, nor is it the time. And Expand hops on off a little bit earlier, but they spread out across fields as well as the very edge of Brasilia. This is not the best case scenario, but it's much better than taking a headshot straight into that equation. But Naguara finds LGDS, and LGDS once again about to bite the dust, I believe.
This is just pure tragedy for LGDS at this point. They have been trying to really not bump into any other opposing team for a couple of rounds in a row, but they always seem to end up in Naguara's territory.
Yep.
And this feels... It doesn't really feel like a coincidence at this point, but you have to really feel for LGDS. They've lost one member early on, and when we talk about an area like Moat House, there's really not much left out there for anyone.
Maxi, can he turn this corner? Will he get punished? Has got backup. It's a 2v1. Yuan together with him as well as they hop on up. Brand manages to take NG out of the equation, and Maxi circles around. Yuan backstab. Maxi gets it, and Yeko steals that knock with a Max 7, secures the elimination as well. Naguara's not going to be complaining, but Baku goes down. P90 in the hands of Bruce, but Maxi says goodbye to him just as quickly.
Yeah, crush. They absolutely crushed LGDS. There was no contention in this particular skirmish. It really feels really bad for the team coming from the Taiwan region, but that's the hard reality, right? Naguara are just so aggressive, and we've talked about this since the beginning of the play-ins, and Naguara are just keeping it up.
Live scores right now, Naguara has managed to overtake Expand in the 3rd place with that 4 points picked up. But it's not the end of the round. In fact, very far away from it. RRQ Kazu, they find Expand out in the open fields, opening fire at them. Maybe with his car in hand, he's not going to be able to deal a lot of damage from this sort of a distance. But as long as he can get a knock, securing it isn't going to be impossible. And X-Roy through the trees still gets caught out by Maybe.
I was just about to say I'm very worried for Expand because of how thin out the forces of the entire team has been spread out.
Yep.
Thanks to that early drop, I felt like there was a bit of hesitation. Perhaps they saw so many teams going to the same area. They decided to bail at the last second. They did lose Roy, but thankfully they can definitely revive Roy. The round is not done and dusted just yet. Expand just needs to be a bit more careful because RRQ was their kryptonite in that previous round. They might have overcame Team Flash, who also took them out 2 rounds in a row, but RRQ is a different ballgame. We saw the previous round when they got the Booyah. It was one of the most... they didn't get the Booyah, but it was one of the more dominant rounds for RRQ Kazu.
Game of information for Team Flash. They send the drone out. They know that RRQ Kazu's waiting right in front of them, and therefore they slow that pace down. They want to be able to get a couple of knocks first before pushing on 4th, especially when you know there's a team already on the defensive stance within Brasilia. The last one final thing you want to do is just rush on into their compound without calculating your steps. RRQ Kazu, on the other hand, they know Team Flash is just beyond the horizon, not them specifically, but with the drone sent towards their way, they are on guard. One player taking that bird's eye view in the name of Pac-Man, AC-80 in hand. If he finds Yanbin first, who's on that long left-hand side flank, this is going to be very deadly, and Team Flash might just bite the dust a little bit too early here. But if at all they can take Pac-Man off of that roof, Team Flash might just be able to bite away at RRQ Kazu.
Has to be a very slow and methodical approach if you are Team Flash, because sure, RRQ Kazu is near us, we know that, but how are you going to approach this? Because you can see that Legolas is on one side and he has that grenade launcher as well. These explosives are going to do massive damage to Team Flash, who are huddled up together in one building, and maybe has already started making contact. That allows Razor to get that green light to kind of pursue this push. Bio has that nade in hand, but he's hesitating. They don't know how to deal with RRQ, and they're giving a lot of ground over.
Bio Did he get? Yes, he did get caught. Literally crawls right into the grenade that was tossed on up towards that second floor. Maybe now, Mac 10 in hand. He can spray this player down, but he himself gets taken out. Is the UFP 40 getting that advantage? Razor on the other hand, Mac 7 just needs to go in there for the God sprays. Yanbin backs away, double barrel up top, and Team Flash, they now play this as slow as possible. RRQ down below. All they need to do is just toss on a couple of more grenades up. Special delivery can get the job done for them. But Yanbin hops on in front of two players and he gets struck down fantastically well. BO 14 HP left here and he's taking a very crucial fight against Razor, but not much HP on him. And Team Flash, they bite the dust. No recovery play at all whatsoever.
Surgically dispatched by RRQ Kazu. Very well done. Team Flash had the right idea. They wanted to kind of segregate RRQ Kazu by in terms of splitting the battle line apart and picking them off. But they accidentally abandoned one of the members on that ground floor. He got knocked down, didn't get any trade done. They tried to escape from the building, but right into the grasp of RRQ. This really felt like there was panic in the heads of Team Flash. And it was just very unlucky for them to get knocked out in this particular situation. But for Expand, they were able to bring Roy back. So the full team has assembled again. They might run into Hot Shot though.
They are literally running into Hot Shot. But Cobra, if this timing checks out well for him, he can get an open shot towards Sika's vehicle. If that vehicle gets caught out in the open, that might be a GG. But
that's
now, look at Hotshot. They obviously see X-Roy flying right back in. They've got some information on their side, and it looks like they're just going to pause their approach. They're down in central. They're within the circle. They don't need to move. They can gatekeep Expand.
The big question now is, does Roy see all these info when he parachuted down? It's very important for Expand to know that if there is a team at this area, because they're controlling a buy point and a revive point at the same time, and it's also a very integral route that Expand has to cut through, or potentially has to cut through if they want to get more resources for their fallen members. But in this case, they have a detour. Well, not anymore. It feels like Hotshot Esports is the team that they need to go through.
Hotshot, if they get all 4 points off of Expand, at the expense of Expand, they can jump on into the top 4 ranks. But they don't want to wait around. They want to play the circle. And I like this from the Pakistani squad. It's all about positioning. It's all about playing the center of the circle. At the end of the day, this is a battle royale. It is a fight to see who can survive the longest. Not entirely who can get the most eliminations out there on the battlefield. Although that's a great way, but you can't guarantee yourselves points. Placements, on the other hand, is a guaranteed structure to climb up the leaderboard. And they don't need a lot to jump into the top 4.
What has been working out for Hotshot Esports so far is playing the third party. We've seen them perch 3, 4 members, even 4 members sometimes on top of buildings, and they're getting kills. Isn't much, but it puts them in a very comfortable spot. That's why at one point they were 3rd, 4th place on the overall standing. And right now they can if they can replicate that, it puts them in a very comfortable position. They might cross paths with EVO's Phoenix though. They're going on this scouting journey.
The undying EVO's Phoenix. But they get their vehicle blown up into smithereens. Zika from afar. It is Team Hotshot taking those pot shots. Jonah down on the ground. Zika gets the LMG knock and then secures the elimination as well. RRQ from the opposite side. Hotshot needs to just slow down a little bit. They are out in the open. They're taking those eliminations. They might get punished if they don't find some cover soon.
And this is a unanimous decision by EVO's Phoenix. They wanted to take the fishing hut. Even though it's not confirmed the circle will finish there, they are not only caught between Hotshot Esports, RRQ Kazu is also on the horizon. Magic Squad though, they're making a lot of noise, and Expand hears this.
Expand hears it, pops. UMP, X-Roy, double barrel, can he get the shot? And pulls out a glue wall to save his own life, but drags from the back. It is the charge buster that secures the knock and the elimination onto X-Roy. Bob's on the other hand, AWM, Cobra caught out in the open as well. And Team Expand continue to struggle. 2 down, 2 still alive, and they're nowhere around Magic Squad. That's a saving grace for the Malaysian squad.
Expand getting picked apart. It's so uncharacteristic. They were so spread out. And it made sense in the previous few rounds where there's not much chaos, but at this point of time, I thought that Expand would stick together a bit more. With that being said, like you point out, AJ, they're still in the game. There's still 7 teams left, including Expand. RRQ Kazu makes contact with EVO's Phoenix, and it puts EVO's Phoenix in a very, very dire situation.
Revivals by Expand quicker than making yourself some instant noodles. Razor finds get high. Evos Phoenix being punished at the very least. 2 players out of the equation, but they've got nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They need to take the fight against Hotshot as well as RRQ, or they can play the IQ gameplay here, but just staying quiet, allowing these 2 teams to do the dirty against each other and hop on out as the third party once these numbers get thinned down and be the final survivors. But it's all going to be up to luck, as Hotshot does not look like they want to engage with anyone just yet. They're just waiting patiently to see exactly how to travel on in towards the next circle.
And I do think that if you are Hotshot, you are in no position. You're in no position where you feel like you need to make a move right now. The circle is still in your favor. You know where the members of Evos Phoenix are. You saw RRQ on the horizon, and the circle has those 3 teams inside of them. Or Evos Phoenix made the right read, but they find themselves in a pinch. You're going to get crunched by 2 different teams, potentially 3 if Naguara joins.
Expand full squad, but they're slowly rotating into another team, Infinity VX, who have struggled all throughout the competition, but maybe they can go out in a blaze ball of fire by taking Expand out of the equation and ruining their chances. Or maybe Expand is going to expand all of those players and continue to keep some pressure up on top of that leaderboard. We will still have to wait and see exactly how that breaks out. But this final engagement needs to start now for the sake of Evos Phoenix. They're running out of time. They need their 2 players right back into the equation, but there's no buy point around them, no revival points whatsoever. Time is running out, and Evos Phoenix might just be the biggest loser.
I mean, off-screen, Infinity VX have ran into Expand as well. Expand had to revive Cobra. So this is very dangerous because whichever angle you come in from right now to get into the circle, you are going through a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Naguara, though, have full control of golf course. You can see RQ, they are under pressure. Hotshot Esports also getting tagged as well. And it was by Evos Phoenix. They know that this is the hill that they have to die on, and they have no choice but to hold on.
The Woodpecker can get them the shots, but the response is a double AC-80 setup on the side of RRQ, who are flanking from that left-hand side. So the shots through the window against Evos Phoenix is going to be easier. If you look at the situation of Expand, they are in a pickle because this next circle is going to be on the other side of this island. They get onto the bridge. They get that high ground advantage, but Infinity VX is on the other side of that bridge. And obviously, the team of RRQ Kazu is not going to be sitting down quietly as Expand tries to get onto the bridge. Everybody wants extra elimination points, and Expand could just be the victim of all of the teams out there the moment they spot them.
Expand have dropped to the 5th place. That is still not including placement points. We haven't calculated that just yet, but just based off of eliminations alone, Expand isn't doing well. And I think this is a time where you have to make that call and try to go through Infinity VX. It's a really great chance for them to beat them at this game. Because if not, you're not going to cross that bridge, and at the end of the day, you're just going to expire to the blue zone. Expand kind of has to make that veto call and take a fight.
My question is this going to be the final round where we actually see Magic Squad pick up a booyah for themselves? Maybe. What a shot. Abdu down on the ground. And he secures the elimination instantaneously as well. It's going to be the one and only Gartel. Blue wall pulled up, but Pac-Man tosses in one after another. Ice grenades. Gartel, grenade launcher, can be the difference maker for Gartel, but Legolas himself delivers his grenade launcher shot and takes Gartel out of the equation. Goodbye, Infinity VX. There's no way they respond to this in a timely manner. Yet another grenade comes flying on in. It is the glue wall melter. Infinity VX surrounded and annihilated in the 7th spot.
Well done by RQ Kazu once more, holding that choke point. But on the other hand, Hotshot Esports up against Magic Squad. One of the harder teams to take down. Hasu not really getting that nade, the trajectory that he wanted to, but he has a grenade launcher. This could go big. He needs to land it. Right now, doesn't connect. Magic Squad has some room to breathe.
7 grenades in hand. The guy has got a lot.
That's one.
That's one. Can he get another? Hasu gets that knock, and he goes in for the 3rd grenade back-to-back, but misses by a mile. Anas, on the other hand, helps his teammate, gets a knock for himself. In the meantime, Expand using all of this chaos to sneak into the circle. Hotshot with Sika down on the ground. Grenade launcher pops out once again. Magic Squad might have just met their fate in here, and Expand stealing RRQ from the back.
This could be the chance for Expand to even make it into the circle. You gotta get rid of RRQ. Everyone is occupied. Bobs has choked out Hasu. There is a chance that Hotshot might not make it. And Bobs nails that grenade launcher, destroys now it's Hot Shot.
RRQ in the 6th spot, Hot Shot in 5th, and Expand is still alive and kicking, but Naguara wants to put an end to that. Faku takes Too Fast out of the equation. Axel hits back at Faku, trade one back, but he's gonna get picked right back up. Naguara has got that high ground advantage. They've got the circle as well. Axel just needs to play time and pray that someone else distracts this LATAM squad.
And it seems like Expand might have ran out of gas unless Magic Squad spoils this. Expand needs Magic Squad to really disrupt Naguara, and that might be a reality. That might be a birthday wish come true for Expand, but Magic Squad, they have taken that low ground. Too Fast is already out. EXO no longer available. Expand out in 4th.
4th place taken out there, and Naguara going in here for a back-to-back booyah. By the looks of it, LATAM squad on fire. EVOS Phoenix still alive and kicking. They won that #1 spot for themselves, but just God Cruz and Moshi alive and kicking here. It's gonna be quite the tough run for them. Magic Squad down in the middle. Naguara doesn't need to do much. They can play the perfect third party. It's a duo versus duo, and Naguara with the biggest winners. They should be able to get this back-to-back booyah.
Magic Squad in a chokehold, one on each team. And the numbers are spread so thin. Naguara have perfect control of the circle. EVOS Phoenix, they're starting to move in. Faku is going to be the first point of contact, but if EVOS Phoenix can get rid of this anchor, they will have a good chance of getting into the safe zone and contesting for the booyah.
One with Mother Nature. Faku backs away behind the tree. Moshi, on the other hand, trying to spray down anyone he finds. Faku responds, AC-80, but the players on the side of EVOS Phoenix very smartly back away behind their super glue walls. Ice Grenade will force them to reposition, courtesy of the Magic Squad. And the players of Naguara trying to take advantage. Ice Grenade after Ice Grenade. Here comes a glue wall melter as well right in front, which is going to prevent EVOS Phoenix from pushing up against Naguara.
One of the loudest teams in the arena today, Naguara, they might be doing it again, and all of these kills are so well done. They are no longer going to stand back. We talk about how these teams always finish strong, and Naguara, they're doing it 11 eliminations, and they're going for more.
Oh, this is God Cruz here from that left-hand side flank. Can he get anything for himself? GU goes ahead, drops Brand. What a play by the Magic Squad. They're taking it to the players of Naguara. Naguara, final survivor. Maxi, can he get it done? Charge Buster in hand, going up against GU. Double barrel in the hands of GU, and MGS gets taken out. Naguara still alive, and EVOS Phoenix with the impossible survival gameplay. God Cruz, Woodpecker, this is going to be a crucial one. It's the same gun on both sides, but God Cruz already cooking up the grenade. If he gets this connection, it's going to be a GG. He does connect, and it's going to be the circle that takes him down. Naguara down. EVOS Phoenix claims the #1 spot.
And remember how this all started for EVOS Phoenix. A decision to go for a fishing hut, pincered by 4 consecutive squads, had nowhere to go, stuck it out until the very end, and even got the booyah.
Unbelievable run by the Thai squad. And talk about having that fire in your hearts after getting stomped out twice. They had a spark to reignite that flame, and they burned it all the way down here into Purgatory, round number 7, and they dominate the play-ins. But it's gonna be a close one down to the wire in this match number 8. EVOS Phoenix proves that the home ground advantage is a real thing.
And that is why EVOS Phoenix is such a force to be reckoned with. We're gonna look at the replay and the highlights of round 7 to see how EVOS Phoenix did it.
Double kill.
Be careful what you wish for. We wished for a competition. We wished for a play that's going to be neck and neck, close, down to the wire, all the way into game number 8. And that's exactly what we've gotten. There's no way to tell exactly which 4 teams are going to be able to secure the top 4 spots because of how open it is. But there are certain few in there that have guaranteed the grand finals for them tomorrow already. The one and only Magic Squad surely has booked their spot for themselves.
Yeah, I think there's a huge chance that Magic Squad makes it unless something that's out of this world happens. But with that being said, I agree. We have such a close play-ins, and it's to the point where even though teams like LGDS is not going to have any chance, for the rest of the contenders, this is neck and neck. It actually will come down to the last round, and it feels like your fate gets decided by one map.
Yeah, man. And you know, let's take a quick peek at the match standings as well. We want to find out exactly how many points all of these teams picked up, so we can do some quick math in our heads to see exactly how much the jump was. Naguwara, 22 points, and that is more than enough for them to hop on up to challenge for that #1 spot. But Magic Squad, the consistency out of this squad is unbelievable. They've gotten that 2nd place twice, in the 3rd spot twice. What can they not do? The consistency is mind-blowing as RRQ Kazu picks up 10 eliminations. RRQ's on fire as well with a total 15. And check this out. The team that picks up the Booyah down in the 4th place.
And that is completely justifiable, right? Because of the situation that they found themselves in. The fact that they still got the Booyah was a miracle itself. Expand down in 5th place, getting 9 points this round. Hotshot Esports getting 7. And Infinity VS getting 5, Team Flash 3. Of course, LGDS only got 2. But, you know, it's kind of a common agreement that LGDS have officially won't have enough points to make it through even after the last round.
I believe.
For Expand though, there might still be some chance because when we take a look at the overall standings right now, Expand are sitting in 5th place, 3 points away from top 4.
Absolutely, man. So there is an opportunity for them, but RRQ Kazu, Naguwara, EWOS Phoenix, Magic Squad, they've all been on fire these past few rounds, but Expand has been riddled with inconsistencies. We need to see safe plays from them if this MCPS squad wants a shot at the grand finals tomorrow. But thus far, they have outclassed all of the other Malaysians who have stepped into the play-in so far. I mean, the best position that a Malaysian squad has gotten at the play-ins is 9th spot. So they're doing great, but not good enough just yet if you want to make MCPS proud.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, I think it's the ample time to bring this up. If Expand fails to make it to the finals, this is going to be one of the first time on the World Series that we don't have any Malaysian representatives in the final. So this is going to be something that is going to go down in history, and it depends on what is going to be written in there. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad. But for now, let's take a look at the good part. EVOS, Phoenix, MVP, God Cruz, the only guy who got elimination in that round.
I mean, if you're getting 1 elimination and the MVP title as well, you've got to be ecstatic. You look at the look on his face. He already knew that this was going to happen, right? And we teased the players of EVOS Phoenix for giving everybody else that luck and not really taking any for themselves. But these boys clearly proving they need no luck. They've got these skills. They've got the God skills to get the job done. But of course, these are the top players of that round number 7. 5 eliminations out of Bobs from the side of Magic Squad with his M79. That grenade launcher has shown up one too many times, and it has dominated that final circle a lot.
Yeah, it can never truly live in Free Fire without a grenade launcher, right? They're followed by Maxi from Naguwara and also Legola from RRQ Kazu, all with 5 kills apiece. So this is a very even round for most of these players, regardless of the results. But we also have the key players for game number 7.
Ooh, GU getting the 4 assists. He's the assist king, but look at the glue wall master, man. Italo was just building up one after the other, protecting the rest of his team members as they pushed in through battle after battle. Magic Squad, that Pixie does still alive and kicking. I want to get a few of those sprinkles myself before we end the competition, man. Magic Squad's got the secret. Naguwara, on the other hand, I believe they stole that bag of magic dust for themselves because out of nowhere, this LATAM squad just woke up in the competition.
Yeah, and this is really playing true to Naguwara, right? Start slow, finish strong, and who can forget Yanbin from Team Flash being the field medic for the team. This is not the first time that Italo has appeared on the the key player screen.
Yep.
And I believe this is the 2nd or 3rd time, and it's all because he's the glue wall master.
And of course, this is going to be going down all the way into the final matchup of the day at Alpine. It's going to be a tough fight for a lot of these teams out there. Quick Maths expand needs 3 points more than the top 4 squads to squeeze on into the top 4. They need 4 points above RRQ Kazu in this next match if they want to stay alive. Hot shot, they still have a good shot, but they need a massive booyah with at the very least 14 elimination points if they want to stand a good shot at this.
I am used to be the guy that likes to do mathematics, but going into this last round, I'm going to turn that part of my brain off and just enjoy, because I think this is too close for comfort.
It is.
And I don't want to let the numbers get to me, right? Because it's so close. Again, expand 3 points away from top 4. But when you look at the top 4 teams, they are all the expected Goliaths to make it to tomorrow. So this is a tall mountain for Expand and the rest of the teams to climb.
Team Flash will need about 25 points more than RRQ, I believe, to hop on into the top 4. 25 is asking for a tad bit too much, so unfortunately, I think this might just be the end of the line for Team Flash. They're not going to be able to make it through, but it is still wide open. The top 4 is not guaranteed just yet, and that's exactly what we wanted at the start of the day. It's exactly what we get, and I should have asked for a landslide victory instead for the top 4, because my heart's beating, man. My heart's beating out of its chest.
I am. I mean, and mine as well, right? I think this is probably one of the best plays we've seen.
Yeah.
And it took many rounds, more than 4 rounds, to find out who has no chance of making it through. And I think that really shows the quality of competition. It has evolved across the entire globe. Yeah,
and EVOS Phoenix bouncing right back up. I mean, they're living up to the name of the undying Phoenix out there on the battlefield. Rebirth after rebirth, they always seem to be able to secure the spots for themselves. And now just 14 points away from that #1 spot. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whether or not they can get it, we'll have to find out after a quick short break.